Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about confidence. So I'm going to be talking about being a confident social worker. I'm going to be sharing some experiences, some hints, some tips that I have around building up your confidence within your day-to-day social work career. Now, I'm so excited about this video, so excited because I'm really passionate about sharing my own experiences about confidence, because it's something that I've struggled with throughout my social work career. It's something that I struggled with at the very beginning, and it's also something that I still struggle with right now as an experienced social worker. So before we get into it, I just have one question that I need to ask. Are you guys subscribed to my channel? If you are, thank you so much. If you're not, what are you waiting for? Literally, either subscribe up there or subscribe down there. It would really mean a lot if you did. So growing up, I was never the confident child. I was always this really shy, really awkward little girl. I would always be in the background of the friendship groups. I wasn't kind of this loud, really confident person who could walk into a room and just light it up. That was never me. And I feel that when I started the social work degree, it was definitely something that I was really kind of scared about and that I was really conscious about, because to be a social worker, sometimes you have to be quite resilient, you have to be quite confident, you have to be quite certain in what you're doing, you have to sometimes have difficult conversations, sometimes you have to challenge people, and if you're not confident about doing things like that, it makes it really difficult to try and fulfill that part of the job. So you can imagine being the shy and awkward person as a child and then going into a career such as social work. Now, I remember when I was a social work student, I was so scared about everything, to be honest. I remember on placement when I was so scared about doing things like making a phone call. I would actually wait until my colleagues left the room before I made a phone call, because I was so nervous, so kind of anxious about what people were going to think, what people were saying. And that was something that I think was probably more mind over matter than anything else. But actually, when you look at me now with telephone calls, I'm like, hello? What I would say is, if you're passionate about social work, there was absolutely no reason why being shy or having a lack of confidence should stop you from doing the job. If you have the skills, if you have the morals, if you have the understanding and the knowledge to do the social work job, then your confidence shouldn't be the factor that brings you down. And equally, it is something that you learn as time goes on. There's no expectation that you just come into the social work degree and you have confidence, or you come into your social work career and you have confidence. So I have some points that I want to talk about within this video that can kind of help with building your confidence, or just maybe accepting the level of confidence that you have. So that might be for newly qualified social workers or for really experienced social workers who've been in the field for ages and ages and ages. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first step that I have is around supervision. Now, supervision for me is a safe space, forum, opportunity for you to meet with either your supervisor or your manager or a colleague, where you're able to share what's going on for you. It might be around talking about cases, it's about your emotional well-being, it's about your practice, it's about your development, it's just that opportunity for you to talk about things quite openly, and it should be a really safe and appropriate forum for you to do so. Now, I do recognise and acknowledge that not everyone's supervision is a safe or appropriate space to share those kind of thoughts and feelings that you might have, but actually supervision is your time, and it's about reclaiming back your time. So if you have any issues with supervision, it's about going to the appropriate channels to make sure that it is beneficial to you, all of which help with your confidence. And if we go back to the definition earlier about what confidence means and feeling certain about yourself, supervision is that opportunity for you to feel certain about yourself, because you've got the safe space, again with the word safe space, but you've got that safe space to just be open, and you've got that opportunity to speak about things quite openly without fear of doing anything wrong or being judged. So another thing is about understanding that confidence grows with time and experience. So the more that you're doing something, the more confident you feel about doing it. So if you know, for me, I've been in the social work career for about 5 years now. I'm confident about certain aspects of the job because I've done it time and time and time again. I've built on that, and I guess it relates back to what I was talking about earlier regarding reflecting and using supervision. As time goes on, you become a lot more confident in your job because you know what you're doing. So another useful tip that I have is around doing something that's out of your comfort zone. Don't always stay within the confines of the box that you're used to or what you're familiar with or what you're happy with. In life, you have to do things that take us out of your comfort zone in order to help with your development. And I think that's definitely one way in which you can build your confidence, doing something that you're not used to doing, something that tests you and takes away that comfort blanket. So in social work, that could be something like presenting something to your team. That could be being proactive with running a meeting or taking charge of a visit if you're newly qualified and you're maybe shadowing another social worker. It's about doing things that you wouldn't normally do on a day-to-day basis. That leads me on to another point about seeking feedback. Seek feedback from those around you, from those who know your practice, from those who see your practice, whether that's the people that you're working with, whether that's your colleagues, whether that's other professionals that you might be interacting with on a day-to-day basis. Knowing what you're doing well and maybe what you're not doing so well helps build your confidence, because if you know that you're doing something well, then you can continue to maximise on that. If you're not doing something so well, then that's something that you can actively change. So not only does seeking feedback help with your confidence, it also helps with your development. It also helps with you knowing and developing on your skills, developing and finding new skills, which is what you need to actively do anyway as a social worker. You can't be so stuck in a certain way. You have to move with the times. Now, with regards to feedback and seeking feedback to try and gain your confidence, an example that I want to give is around facing difficult or challenging clients, service users, whatever you want to call them. If you've taken a really difficult phone call, or if you've come back from a really difficult visit or joint visit, or you've had a really difficult meeting, ask for feedback from the people around you. With regards to the phone call, if you've been in the office and you've found yourself on the phone for a while, someone's being difficult, you're having to use all your skills to try and manage and preserve the situation. Once you're off the phone, ask your colleagues, guys, how did I deal with that? Is there anything I could have done differently? That was really quite challenging. Can I speak to someone about it? All those kind of things, all those kind of I don't know what to say. Doing things like that can help, because sometimes when you're in that situation, you can't take a step back and see yourself from another person's point of view. So one thing that I have is about learning. Now, of course you're going to be confident if you actually know what you're doing. If you come into social work and you only use the information that you've learned on your degree, I'm sorry to say, you won't get very far. Social work is about continuously learning, continuously building up on your knowledge base, continuously building on your development, and it's about learning new things as you go. And I feel like the more that you know about what you're doing, about your role, the more confident you'll be. So when people are challenging you or when people are asking you questions, you won't kind of retreat into yourself. You'll be quite confident and you'll be able to say, oh no, I actually know that. Whereas if you don't, then of course you're not gonna feel as confident, because you're always thinking, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So another thing that I have is about being open to knockbacks, being open to criticism, being open to things not going how you think it's going to go. So an example might be with an interview. If you've gone for an interview and you have not got the job, that might dampen your confidence a bit. Actually, you should take that experience, you should spin it to something more positive, in the sense that, okay, they might not have seen my potential in this interview, but we'll do our best on the next one. What I want you to take from that is to try and see the positives in the negatives sometimes. I'm going to insert a picture that I posted on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago regarding your mindset when you're feeling positive and your mindset when you're feeling negative. Hopefully that's quite helpful for you guys, because actually it helps to try and break down the thought processes that we have when we're feeling negative and feeling positive. So that leads me on to not being so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes being confident is about understanding that you're going to make mistakes. There are some things that you're going to do that aren't going to be up to scratch. You are going to receive criticism, but actually that's part of your personal development, and that's part of your growth. It's also recognising that your skills are not a reflection of your personality. So just because I am shy does not mean that I'm incompetent. Just because I might be anxious about things doesn't mean that I'm unable to do my job. If you've made it this far into the video, honestly, thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for the feedback and the comments that I've had on my videos, either on my social media or down below in the comments. Honestly, it makes me feel really motivated to continue to make videos. This is a completely new process to me, and the outpouring of love really does help to just keep me going. So if you need to find me, if you need to make any suggestions for videos, or if you just want to just comment, you can catch me on my social media. My Instagram is @youngblacksocialworker. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe also. Really appreciate people subscribing, and I'll catch you in my next one, guys. Bye.